Madhav, what we're seeing now on our screens is a tribute that is being paid to Mr. Veer Savarkar. Now, we know that Mr. Savarkar is a sort of red flag to the opposition also, but one can't entirely discount his contribution to the freedom movement either, and to a certain facet of history. So it's his Jayanti today, and the timing is replete with symbolism, the inauguration on Savarkar's Jayanti.
Well, absolutely. In fact, we were discussing this a short while earlier, and certainly one of the panelists very correctly observed that while Mr. Savarkar is certainly a huge red flag for the Congress, we've seen the statements that Mr. Rahul Gandhi, for instance, has made, during his Bharat Jodo Yatra that caused a huge controversy, and even, alliance partners such as the Shiv Sena Uddhav faction were perhaps at some level quite embarrassed with those kind of statements coming in. Certainly, of course, it is a controversial move, but many would say that, Mr. Savarkar, as you rightly said, his contribution to the freedom movement, the fact that he was jailed for so long, for several years, and the sacrifices, the kind of torture that he had to face, at some level or the other, his role towards the freedom movement cannot be discounted. But yes, this is in fact, if I'm correct, is in the corridors of the new Parliament building, where a new arrangement has been made, and Mr. Rajgopal can come in, because earlier the system was that inside the central hall there would be these portraits where one would go and pay floral tributes at the time of their birth anniversary or death anniversary, as the case may be. And here, Mr. Rajgopal, we are seeing another arrangement that has perhaps come in, a new tradition that is being established as far as the new Parliament is concerned.
New Parliament, that is why new space has been given. My understanding is it is in the central hall, because it looks like a central hall. It is not the new Parliament. Anyhow, the way in which this Sarvarkar issue has, boomeranged on the opposition by boycotting, DMK has also gone against Sengol. Therefore, in one shot, Narendra Modi got 2 mangoes.
2 mangoes. Okay, well, you have your own way of putting things.
Because, in Maharashtra, because of Veer Savarkar, the entire Maharashtra is united. Because of Sengol, entire Tamil Nadu is united against DMK and other, Dravidian movement, because it belongs to Sanatanic Dharma.
I think those pictures are telling us that this is perhaps the central hall, as you rightly point out. Madhav, of course, you'll have greater occasion today to see it up close and personally in a short while. Viewers, I'll be here with you till 12, and after that, of course, the Prime Minister will be addressing the nation. There will also be a token ceremony at that time.
No, one thing very important, Rahul, that we must remember is that addresses of the Vice President and the President are going to be read out. Now, this is a demand of the opposition that they have to be part of this particular ceremony. If their addresses are then read out, what is the response that comes in from the opposition side would also be interesting to see, though they have, of course, to be fair to them, demanded the physical presence of the President, and that is the official reason that they're boycotting.
Let's get in, because I'm also seeing David Frawley smile a little bit on national TV. That's always good to see. But I'll come on to you, David Frawley, in just about 2 minutes. But I want to bring in both Mr. Annamalai and Mr. Dasgupta. First to you, Mr. Dasgupta. Look, many people are saying, whether it is Savarkar or the Sengol or the Adheenams, etc., that this entire ceremony is the consecration really of a new Hindu republic. How do you see this?
Well, if you look at anything which is drawn from tradition and say that they must be outlawed in this new republic, I think you're suggesting that India as an idea was born only in 1947. India wasn't born in 1947. India predated that. The republic started from 1950. Now, if traditional ceremonies are going to be completely abandoned, you're going to have a certain ruthless secular republic. That, to my mind, is not something which the people of India want. It is not something which is in the nature of India. India is an ancient nation, and that antiquity, that sense of continuity, must always be preserved. And I think what we are seeing today, the ceremony, in a small sort of way, actually upholds that sense of historic continuity, civilizational continuity, which is part of India.
And viewers, I just want to very quickly read out what Mr. Savarkar has said and come out to Mr. Annamalai. He said once, "Let the Indian state be purely Indian. Let it not recognize any invidious distinctions whatsoever as regards the franchise, public services, offices, taxation on the grounds of religion and race. Let no cognizance be taken whatsoever of man's being Hindu or Mohammedan, Christian or Jew. Let all citizens of that Indian state be treated according to their individual worth, irrespective of their religious or racial percentage in the general population. Let the language and script be the national language and the script of that Indian states which are understood by the overwhelming majority. And it goes on and ends with an invocation. He says, let one man, one vote be the general rule, irrespective of caste or creed, race or religion. Many people forget, viewers, that he actually militated against the caste system. He at one time also enjoined Muslims to build India together with the majority population. So he certainly was someone who wanted to reach across the aisle and did so. Mr. Annamalai, I just want to get your opinion on this. Many people are saying that the entire function should have been led by the president. That is not happening. Instead, we're going to have speeches by the president read out in the House. How do you react to this?
So the way I see it is the will of the people, all the 142 crore people, whomever they have selected as their representatives, they are in the parliament, they are part of the process. And president and vice president not participating, not being invited. And none of us see that as a very big issue. In a democracy, the will of the people matters, and every single person who is selected by the people across the aisle is there in the parliament. And the president and vice president are, of course, part of the process. They are giving out a speech. There will be the vice president will be manning the parliament process in the days to come. And this is for the opposition just to nitpick, sir. I will tell you, sir, in my personal opinion, the parliament, what the building, the mere building is just the body. And the process, the ceremonies, the Adheenams and the things that are happening right from the morning, the Kolaru Padigam that is sung, the Devaram, the 9th and 10th century, the great Devaram that is sung inside the parliament, this is the soul.
Right.
And we are seeing a very wonderful fusion of the body and the soul. That makes it complete. And anybody who's trying to differentiate it by saying these are all this ceremony, that ceremony, they are not invited. They are not understanding that only the body and soul can make a perfect being. That is happening right inside the parliament today, and we are privileged to be a part of it, sir.
Well, so are we privileged to bring this to you, viewers. And on that point, let me go across to a couple of our viewers. David Frawley also waiting, and I'm coming out to you. Not an empty promise, David Frawley. I'm just coming out to you. Let me just go across to three of our viewers who've been holding on for about 15 minutes. Archana calling in from Delhi this morning. Good morning, ma'am. Go ahead with your point of view.
A very good morning to you, Rahul. What a moment. It is actually a new beginning, a new dawn. Every Indian is feeling today so proud and elated. History is being rewritten. This inauguration of new parliament is not only a celebration of a glorious heritage and great civilization today, but it truly means that Bharat has arrived.
Okay, Bharat has arrived. Krishna Mohan calling in from Bengaluru this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Rahul. It's a big moment for the entire Indian. Let's congratulate ourselves. And the opposition parties did a big mistake by boycotting it. As rightly mentioned by Congress leader Acharya Pramod Krishna. I would like to refer to what Mr. Swapndas Gupta said just now, that he said there should be a common endeavor, which reminds me of the sutta from Rig Veda, at the end of Rig Veda, which is an essence of the entire Rig Veda. That is called Samana Sutta or Aikamata Sutta, which says, which I think probably the priest in the panel and also Mr. Rajagopal would know, Samit Jivate, it begins like that. Which in the second Anuvaka, it says, converge collectively as one.
Right.
Speak unanimously as one.
Okay.
May you be known as people with one mind, with one accord.
Well, remember,
Like
viewers, that the Indic civilization, our dharmic outlook was very inclusive, continues to be very inclusive and will remain inclusive. And we will speak to Mr. Vamdev Shastri or David Frawley on this. One final viewer before I go out to you. Anand Subbarao calling in also from Bengaluru. Good morning.
Good morning, Rahul Shankar. In fact, it is really a proud moment for us. We never expected that the parliament building is going to be constructed within 2.5 years. And it's a really historical moment. And also, the morning only I got up to witness the inauguration. In fact, every Indian should feel proud, and I really feel pity for opposition party, and more so with RJD, the way they tweet. In fact, it is not a pardonable.
That
really
left
proud.
sour taste in everyone's mouth. I agree with you, Anand Subbarao. I don't think that should have found expression on a day such as this. David Frawley, you've been listening in, obviously, to some of our political leaders here also who have been talking about the breakdown of bipartisanship in the country. But I'm not going to focus on that with you. I want you to contextualize this moment for us. We also see the shadow of our colonial past receding today. We're gifting ourselves a new parliament made by Indians that were born free and whose minds have created a monument to public expression that has been culturally, philosophically, and most importantly, historically inspired by Bharat's ancient civilizational values. And it's about time that we bring them out to the fore.
Yes, in fact, it is a timeless moment. It is a movement, an awakening of India's historical identity, its persistence over millennia, its guidance of the world Vishwaguru on many levels. It is a celebration of that Bharatiya spirit. It is not rooted in any individual and any particular political party only. It is an awakening of a deeper humanity and Dharma. And in that respect, those who cannot see that are just revealing their own personal and political limitations. It is not something to just simply look down on. It is something that is a rejection of what Dharma stands for, what India stands for, and it is a moment where unity can arise. Tamil Nadu was the origin of so much of the Indian civilization and its continuity. From the Himalayas to Kanyakumari, this is an awakening that is awakening the very foundations of India's civilization. It's promising a renaissance, not simply what you could call a Hindu renaissance or a Vedic renaissance, but a Bharatiya view that accepts all aspects of knowledge, that awakens all aspirations to higher consciousness, which is awakening and understanding the whole of humanity and all of nature. Look at Modi's dedication to ecology. And then it's India as full of new monuments to devatas, to higher consciousness, new schools, new education, and recognizing all the great gurus and leaders of India, whether in the independence movement or before. It is a national awakening and celebration, a karma yoga. It is not rooted in one group or another. So let us all share that, and let us all honor that. And those who don't wish to honor that, let us raise their spirit by showing the dedication that is arising from this event, and that will be felt throughout the world in this G20 and other times, and which awakens inspiration, whether Vivekananda, Aurobindo, Gandhi, Tagore, Chinmayananda, we can go on and on and on for that, or all the way back to Shivaji Maharaj, to all the great dynasties that have occurred. It is getting rid of the colonial past and shadow that is trying to diminish India to a collection of people, a collection of communities, a collection of countries that are no more. So let this Bharatiya celebration become a regular event at many levels. And welcome to the new India. You can go forward with vision and determination, or you can hold on to the old shadow, a mere dynasty, a mere shadow of colonial rule. That is all going away. So let us share, let us have this wonder, let us recognize this as a kind of political Kumbh Mela, you might say, of awakening India's dharmic tradition, not for political values, but simply for the value of all humanity. And for taking the world forward, we need a new diplomacy, we need a new use of technology, we need a new understanding of spirituality, and this is what India promises, and this is what is unfolding today. So it's my great honor to be part of this, and it's a great moment of my life, and let us share this wonderful vision of resurgent Sanatana Dharma, a resurgent Bhumi Devi, not just one country, and the fulfillment of the independence movement, but also all the aspiration of rishis, sages that has come out of Bharat and that has shared their vision with the world.
Well,
Shri Guru Namaste.
Well, that's very comprehensive.